Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, morning. As you know already, my name is Dr. Tony Kweki. I'm a medical doctor by profession, and I am the director of Exceptional Couples Institute. This is an institute where we are really passionate about marriages and how to help couples live in marital bliss. I know that marriage is not easy, could be difficult because you're dealing with a different human and different personality. I would please ask you to subscribe to these channels because you're going to be getting more videos that help you to build fantastic marital bliss. And if you look at my previous videos, I've talked about the fact that we are different, part one. This is a part two. So please subscribe to this channel so that you continue to get an update of my new video. So today we're going to continue to talk about the fact that we are different, and in my experience I've come to realize that this is one of the reasons why we have problem in our marriages. Okay, and the subject that need to be dealt with. So if you look at the previous videos, you're going to see that I've talked about that in some area. Just want to let you know that I've been married for over 7 years to my beautiful, wonderful wife, and she's quite supportive in everything that we do and work together. And she has also been one of the reasons that I have learned a lot how to manage our differences as a couple. So I need to say thank you so much, my wife, wherever you are watching this video. Just know that I love you. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. Thank you. All the best. I love you. So, again, let's talk about our differences. Of course, we know that we're different physically. That's something that's so obvious. And in fact, it is these physical differences that usually attract us to the opposite sex, you know. When you see a woman with her appearance physically, that is the first thing that tend to attract you. You know, many years ago, I got an advice from a very senior person and said, one of the things you must consider before you get married to any lady is her physical attraction. If a woman is not physically attractive to you, you may when probably going to have problem because that physical attractions are important. Even though sometimes as you continue to live together, it may not be as it were, you know, but sometimes the fact that you were physically attracted like that initially, it helps to keep the bond together. So it is important, if you're right there and you're yet to make the decision to get married, remember that physical attraction are part of it. So if you look at the woman physique, you understand that we were quite different, right from her facial appearance to her chest, to her hips, even to her legs. So that's one physical differences. Men, on the other hand, they are also different in terms of physical appearance. So one of the differences that you need to understand between men and women is the fact that men are more muscular, okay, and women are less muscular. So that's one of the physical appearance that you need to understand that is different between men and women. Number two is the fact that we are also different psychologically. And I think that in my opinion and experience of being married over 7 years, I think that this is where we have a lot of problems. This is where our conflicts, you know, come together. Again, you understand that before you get married, you would have seen the woman that you love physically. Okay, so the physical differences are quite obvious, but the psychological difference are really not obvious. Sometimes people tend to be in relationship for a numbers of years, but you're really not going to understand the psychological difference of your partner until you start living together. You may have an idea of it, but when you start living together in the same roof, that's where you begin to understand the psychology of your partner. So what do we mean by psychology? Psychology means generally the way you respond to issues internally. Okay. So it all talk about our mindset. It talk about the way you think, the way you feel the word, the way you think the word, the way you make meaning of things, the way you make interpretation. As you follow this channel and continue to have access to my videos, you will understand that the way women think internally is quite different from the way men think internally. And this is the reason for most of the conflict that we have in marriage, because as you will also understand is that the way women think internally is quite opposite the way men think internally. The way men think internally is completely opposite the way women think internally. And this is a reason of conflicts in our marriages. That's the reason why if this psychological thought of women are not satisfied, either they leave the marriage or they become unhappy all the rest part of their life. Same thing with the man. If the psychological makeup or the thinking of the man is not satisfied, they sometimes leave the marriage or sometimes just do a lot of things outside and don't give attention to a lot of things being on in the house. That's why they tend to have a lot of away matches outside, and before they know, they get the satisfaction from that chick, that lady, that person from outside. So that's how it happens. So you must understand it is important that psychologically you guys are not the same. So in attempt for you to make the woman think the way you think, I can tell you that that's the beginning of problem in your marriage, because she can never think like a man. Well, let me not say never. It's difficult for her to think like a man. Same thing, a man, it's also very difficult for you to think like a woman. So this is our difference. I need you to understand that we're different physically and we are also different psychologically. Please, if you've not subscribed to my video, I need you to do that right now. Press the button, subscribe to this video so that I can get to you more content on this exceptional couples institute. I bet you're going to learn a lot and you will live in marital bliss. Again, the third but not the least is we are also different the way we live. I've talked about the fact that we're different physically, we're different psychologically. That means the way we think, the way we feel, the way we interpret things. The way we behave physically is now also the same. If you see a lady, the way she behaves physically is quite different from the way a man behaves physically. So that's why we say that when you see some certain ladies, you think that they are tomboy, behaving like a man. When you see some guys behaving like a lady, you say this is, want to be behaving like a woman. But again, the question that we should ask is that is there really a certain way for a woman to behave or a man to behave? I think that if you look across the whole world and sample the statistics of how people behave in terms of men or women, it is quite obvious the way women behave physically and men behave physically. Okay, so these are the three differences that you need to pay your attention to. So this is the part 2. I'm going to stop at this level. If you've not hit the button, please hit the button and subscribe for more video. We love you. My wife and I, we love you, we care for you, and we want you to live in marital bliss. Thank you. Thank you. See you other time. Bye. Bye.